On this episode of Rock Down South, we chat with Zach Allen from the rock band TEMPT. We talk about the band's amazingly fun hard rock sound, their new single, Living Dangerous, and their experience opening for Bon Jovi at Madison Square Garden. Plus, we got a couple of live songs for you, so you definitely don't want to miss this one. We hope you'll enjoy. Let's go. Welcome to another exciting episode of Rock Down South, a show where my friends and I chat with musical artists and ask them the questions we want to know about. On this episode, we sit down and talk with Zach Allen, lead singer for the rock band TEMPT. And if you haven't heard of TEMPT yet, then you are in for a treat. These guys are an incredibly fun, high-energy band with super fun and catchy tunes. So if you're a fan of Def Leppard or Bon Jovi and think that none of these newer bands can make any music like they used to back in the day, then you are dead wrong, because these guys in TEMPT are doing just that. This is the music that you want to party to and sing along with. And you can do just that in a little bit, as we have a couple of live tunes for you to listen to later on in the interview, including their brand new single, Living Dangerous. So without further ado, here's the interview. Zach, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, guys. Thank you for having me.
Dude, thank you so much for jumping on the call today. I really appreciate it. Really excited to talk to you today.
My pleasure.
Now you guys are based out of New York City, is that right?
Yes. So I'm born and raised here in New York City. We all are, except for our drummer, Nick, who's originally from Ontario, from Windsor, Ontario. But Chris, our bassist, lives up in the Bronx in Co-op City. And then Harrison and I grew up in Manhattan. So yeah, and Nick has lived in New York for over 10 years now. So he's basically in New Yorker now.
And so kicking things off, man, I kind of just wanted to, talk about your sound because, I love it. I love that sound that you guys have. And it's obviously has a little bit of inspiration from some of our favorites, such as, Leppard and Bon Jovi. And, I think I really just like those, those background vocals, the gang vocals, I think they call them. And really kind of glad to see that influence in, younger artists such as yourself.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how you guys describe, some of the sound?
When describing our sound, I mean, first of all, I like to say that, we're an upbeat, high energy, positive rock band who likes to have fun on stage. We take great pride in our stage show. I like to tell people that after the first chorus, you'll be singing the second and the third choruses along with us. And obviously we take a lot of inspiration from the greats. When I was growing up and trying to master my singing voice, Steven Tyler was my absolute hero. So, in that vein, when you're looking to master anything, you look to the greats. And the four of us in TEMPT are also enamored with the rock star attitude and the showmanship from the greats from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And we all love that aesthetic so much, and how they're larger than life. And I think that's what we wanted to bring to our sound and to our music, the high fashion, the guitar solos, the big vocal hooks, as you were talking about, the harmonies. We love our harmonies. So, we grew up listening to that kind of stuff. And, now obviously majorly influenced by a lot of new stuff that's going on, a lot of the modern music. So I guess we merge all of it together and to create something new.
Yeah, man, I really enjoy that kind of sound. Not enough people are doing that kind of sound and mixing it with, newer sounds, in my opinion. But I'm glad that younger folks, like I mentioned, are, still interested in that music, because so many people are.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's just fun music. It makes you feel good. There's a lot of great rock music out there, but a lot of it we find is very, it's super heavy, or it's kind of emo, or a little bit, the lyrics are kind of sad. And we're just four guys in New York having a great time. And we reflect that in our music. And, we're going through all the emotions of everything that's obviously happened this past year, but we like to keep it upbeat. And I think that really reflects well in our music.
So tell us a little bit about how the band came together. I know you started working on the Runaways as early as 2016.
Yeah. So Harrison and I met each other at the end of 2012, I want to say. I was working with the songwriter who had told me, you need the Richie Sambora to your John Bon Jovi, the guitarist, the writing partner and the stage partner and all of that. So I was on YouTube and I found a video of Harrison playing a Whitesnake song. And I was like, wow, this guy's amazing. So we got to meet up and instantly clicked. I mean, within the first month of knowing each other, we wrote about 10 or 12 songs. So we instantly clicked. We talked about our musical influences, what we wanted the band to be like. But at that time, Harrison was just going to college. I was in a gap year after high school and about to go to college myself. So it never was really anything that we could fully take seriously. And we wrote that first record, the Runaway album, and we had some guys play on it, Sterling Campbell and Jack Daly, who were fantastic, got to play on that record. But once Harrison was done with school and I had a couple of years left, I wanted to make it a full-time thing. And we all wanted to make this band our life. So I came back to New York. I was in school in Florida. I came back. Harrison was finished with school. And we said, let's give this a full-time go. So we got our other band members. We brought on Nick, our drummer, and Chris was brought on by Nick, our drummer. So he came in and then the four of us, that first rehearsal where we first had Chris and Nick and me and Harrison there playing, you just felt it immediately. You felt everything groove, everything clicked. And, we all started writing together and all of our musical influences have melded together. It's a really special thing. So, Harrison and I met a long time ago, but we've really been going at it as the four of us for like 3 to 3.5 years now.
Oh, nice. So this is your tight knit group, and this is what you're presenting to the world now.
For sure. Yeah. And again, love the Runaway record, but, we're obviously very excited to show people what we got now. We obviously put out Living Dangerous, our first single, and very, very excited to put out our full length album at the beginning of next year. So.
Yeah, that was just what I wanted to speak about next, that Living Dangerous song and video, which, man, I really, really enjoy that song and video. I think I listened to it, I don't know how many times. It was really, really fun. It's a fun song.
Thank you, man. I'm so glad you like it. Yeah, we that was one of the first songs we wrote for this album. God, it started with just a little demo, and I remember going in with all of us and really thinking that we created something special. And it was an easy choice as our first single. We were lucky enough to have Dorothy join us on it, who was incredible, whose voice was so great on it. I always tell this story. When we got the mix back from our producer, Chris Lord-Alge, I was waiting to hear Dorothy's voice in the song, and she didn't come in until the second verse. And the second verse started, and I still thought it was me singing. And that's the ultimate compliment to her, because she was so fantastic and in matching not only the vibe and the energy of the song, but she just brought it to a new level, man. She killed it. She was great in the video. She was such a trooper, fun to work with. That was a really long day shooting that video last year. We were there till like 2 or 3 a.m. and she was there the whole time. So it was fantastic to work with her. We could not be happier with how the songs come out.
That's awesome. Yeah, Dorothy did a fantastic job on that song. I really liked it. And she came in on the second verse, which is a little bit earlier than I thought for a feature. But when I listened to it a couple of times, I'm like, I don't see anywhere else where she probably should have come in. I mean, it was a great spot, and she sounds great, and it goes really, really well with the song. I mean, she doesn't steal everything away from the show, but she's not lost in the mix, in my opinion. It just works really well, in my opinion.
No, it worked out fantastic. Like I said, she added little riffs here and there into the song. That part, I'm on the edge. That was like all her. And she added like these little ear candy things, that dangerous whisper part that she did. So it was really, really cool what she added.
Oh, that's super cool, man.
Your voice is fantastic too. You still have some videos up on YouTube with acoustic, totally raw, unfiltered, unedited, unmixed, and it just sounds great.
Thank you.
I don't know if they're ever going to come down as you get famous, but I hope they stay up. They're really cool.
Well, I mean, we'll see. We enjoy doing acoustic stuff as well, but we just love playing anytime we can. It's obviously more fun to do all the loud stuff, but the acoustic stuff is nice too for different moods.
So what's the plan for more singles or an album?
So we know we're releasing our debut album with Better Noise beginning of next year. There will be another single coming out, or maybe even 2 before the album's out, but we don't have a release date on that yet. We are looking to release the full length next year. So there might be another single in a few months. I'm not entirely sure yet, but as soon as we know, we will let you guys all know. But yeah, we have been sitting on this album for a while. We were finished at the beginning of 2020. So, they say patience is a virtue, and we're feeling that right now. And we're just very excited to get this music out to people.
So with the album a tour, I saw a couple dates in Germany next year, but nothing really else on the calendar.
Yeah, last year, of course, we were supposed to go over to Europe for pretty much the entire summer. We were doing Download, we were doing Rock am Ring, a bunch of really great festivals. Of course, as everybody knows, the world shut down. So those were rescheduled to next summer, where we're going to be doing some shows there. We have a lot of great tour stuff in the works that's lining up really nicely for next year. So we're super excited about that, and we'll announce it when it all gets official. But we're really excited to just play this music live, and not be doing live streams from our studio and instead being out in the world. So there's some great stuff in the works.
All right. So possible tour going to be announced in the future. That's what I suspected when I looked at your schedule. I was like, I bet they're gearing up for maybe an announcement of a tour soon.
Yeah. There's going to be some stuff.
One of my first concerts, this is dating myself, I saw Bon Jovi open for Rat in the RPI Fieldhouse, upstate New York.
Oh, wow.
But I heard you guys opened for them at MSG. What was it like playing MSG opening for Bon Jovi?
Oh, man, indescribable. Like I told you guys, I'm born and raised in New York. And for any musician, anybody, going to Madison Square Garden is a treat. And it's the world's most famous arena for a reason. It's so iconic. I'm also a big sports fan, so I would go there for a lot of Knicks games, occasionally some hockey games. And to walk up on that stage during the sound check was wild, because you walk up and there are 20,000 empty seats, and our sound guy Night Bob was all the way back, basically where the other basketball hoop would be. We got to see all the retired numbers and everything, which was so cool. And just to hear the kick drum, boom through the arena on Harrison's guitar, and my voice, just the echo was so crazy. The sound check, I could tell you so many stories from the sound check. I mean, it was just so seamless too. It was like the easiest sound check we've ever had. The monitors were crystal clear. Bon Jovi's crew, I cannot say enough nice things about them. They were so nice to us and were so great to work with. When we finished our sound check, and Bon Jovi, at that point, it was the second of 2 nights at MSG. So they had been there the night before. So I think they'd kind of gotten their sounds dialed in, but we had sound checked, and, as we were leaving the stage, as we do, we say, hey, since Bon Jovi is coming up, where do you want us to put our stuff? Do you need us to move it out? And they said, no, don't worry about it. Bon Jovi will work around it, which was just so crazy to think that a band of their status would just work around our pedals, whatever, which is so cool. And then we got to meet him 5 minutes before we went on, and we talked, and he gave us a 20-minute set. And he said, do you guys know why I gave you 20 minutes? And we asked him, and he said, well, when I was your age and in the 80s, they had opened for ZZ Top at Madison Square Garden, and they had a 30-minute set planned, but they got so excited that they played their 30-minute set in 20 minutes. So that's why they gave us 20 minutes. So it was really cool to talk with Don. He was great. Such a pro. I mean, again, the whole experience was insane. The 20 minutes went by faster than any 20 minutes has ever gone by in my life, but we really crammed as much music in as possible. And it was an unforgettable evening, man. Really, really great.
So you talked to John Bon Jovi 5 minutes before he walked on stage, right?
Well, it was like 5 minutes before we went on. So the pressure was on us, because I was a little bit more nervous to meet John, and I think Harrison has said the same thing, than to actually play the show, because we had sound checked. We knew everything sounded good. We had rehearsed our set so many times. So we knew we'd be tight, but meeting John was definitely the heart was thumping. So to meet him and then to be like, okay, go on the stage, was just like a whirlwind of a few minutes. But he was so nice, so gracious. We took a picture with him. He's got incredible teeth, as we all know. So pearly white. So yeah, he's fantastic.
That's awesome, man.
And I was going to say too, the best part about it is that next spring, he invited us on the Runaway to Paradise cruise that he does. So he liked us enough to bring us back. So that was really awesome.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. Speaking of shows you played, I know that was probably the top show you played, but I got a question that might be a little interesting. What would you say is the worst show that you've ever played? Maybe it was a bad performance you had, a bad crowd, a small crowd, or maybe just a weird venue. But what kind of comes to mind?
I have a couple examples. Because we were just talking about MSG, I'll talk about this one show that we played in New Jersey, down by the shore somewhere. I'm blanking on the name of the place, but it was like 2 months after we had played the Garden, and we got a headlining slot at this place in Jersey, but every band was late getting on stage. It was just getting later and later, and people just started kind of filtering out of the venue to the point where when we went on, it was about 12:30 in the morning, I guess, and there were about 7 people there. So to go from playing MSG to playing to 7 people in Jersey was a real slap of reality. It wasn't a bad show. And again, we do our show wherever we are. It doesn't matter if there's 100 people, 1,000 people, 10 people. We do our show. But that was the juxtaposition of those 2 shows together was just kind of funny.
That's an interesting story. Little wake-up call, a little ego check. That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
What music are you listening to currently?
So I'm really into Bring Me the Horizon. I really like their stuff. I'm looking at my phone right now to see what's the latest stuff I've downloaded. The band Camino, really like their record. Been into Glass Animals, Kid Cudi. I'm all over the place. I am.
Yeah, that is all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah. Bring Me the Horizon. Yeah, I want to see them. I have not seen them.
They put on a great show. I got to see them a couple of years ago in New York, and it was awesome. The lights in particular were sick.
Speaking of music that you like that might not be rock and roll, I saw you guys recently put out a cover of Kanye West's Jail on your YouTube page.
Yes. Yeah. We really liked that song. We were waiting for the album to come out like so many other people were. And we listened to that song and we wanted to put our spin on it. We got right into the studio and started working on it. It's just such a good hook. And we had fun shooting the video for it. So like I said, our music tastes are all over the map. We definitely dig Kanye and especially that song. So we had a fun time with it. Hope you guys liked it and can check it out.
Yeah. And I know you guys have done some other covers on your YouTube page, and I'm sure that's pretty fun to do.
So yeah, we love playing covers. We love sticking them in the set, especially when we play live, because it's breaks it up. It's a good time.
What was the best concert you ever saw?
Best concert. I saw Green Day play under a fake name when I was 11 or 12 years old in New York City. I told my dad to bring me down because I was like, there's no chance that I'm going to get in. But my friend told me that Green Day's playing under a fake name at this place called Don Hills, this legendary club that's no longer here in New York. So he drove me down and he double parked the car outside. And I was like, just wait here. I'm going to see if I can get in. So I walk in. I'm 12 years old also. And I'm like, hi, 1 ticket. And they're like, okay, sure. So I was like, oh, all right. Get right in. It's like half empty. So I'm like, Dad, please, you got to come in. Like, no one's here. So he comes in, we're standing there and I'm like, there's no way Green Day is going to come out. Right. And we were just sitting there and the stage was set up, and out of nowhere, we turn around and like Billy Joe, Trey, and Mike just walk out of the dressing room, absolutely drunk, just hammered, and go out and do a 3.5-hour set of never released songs, of songs under their other band named Foxborough Hot Tubs. And they did a couple Green Day songs as well. And I caught Billy Joe. He stage dove on me. It was like Green Day was like one of my heroes growing up. So to see them in front of like 150 people was ridiculous.
Oh, wow. That's quite a story, man.
It's the concert experiences that really get you into music and get you hooked. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
All right. And now we have the pleasure of listening to a couple of live songs from the band. This first song is called Burn Me Down.
All right. Let's play a couple new ones for you. It was getting close to midnight. You were perfect in the moonlight. I thought you'd be the one for me. We started getting
yeah, that song is a good one. I really like that one. This second song is called Living Dangerous. It's their brand new single. I hope you all enjoy this one.
Let's turn it up. Are you ready? Let's go. Race like an animal. I'm falling to always feel like I'm running from the light. Miles on fire. Keep on going, yeah. Keep on going, yeah. This body's alive. Gotta get it moving, yeah. We're gonna make it tonight. Tonight. Living dangerous, dangerous. On the edge, living dangerous, dangerous. Living dangerous, dangerous. On the edge, living dangerous, dangerous. Bright eyes, awaken the love inside. You gotta hold tight, 'cause some bodies are losing control, and I want more. I make it happen, yeah, make it happen. Girl, you never felt so alive. I need you to listen, you told me permission tonight. Oh, tonight. Living dangerous, dangerous. On the edge, living dangerous, dangerous. Living dangerous, dangerous. On the edge, living dangerous, dangerous. Living dangerous. Living dangerous. Gotta live a little dangerous, gotta live a little dangerous. Hey. Gotta live a little dangerous, gotta live a little dangerous. Gotta live a little dangerous, gotta live a little dangerous. Oh no, we're not done yet. Ha ha. Let's have a good time tonight, huh? Bring it back, boys. Living dangerous, dangerous. On the edge, living dangerous, dangerous. Living dangerous, dangerous. On the edge, living dangerous, dangerous.
Oh man, I do not know how you guys would not like that song. If you don't like this music, then there's something wrong with you. Now, let's get back to the interview. So these next questions are what we close with and ask everyone.
Cool.
So first question, what would you tell your 21-year-old self?
Ooh. Well, 21, let's say I just turned 27. So what would I tell my 21-year-old self? Don't get so stressed out about the little things, I think. You know, as we've seen with COVID and everything, we take things for granted, and life's too short to think about the little meaningless things that pop up every now and then. Of course, there are things to focus on, but you know, there are times where I'd get really bogged down about certain things that just kind of don't matter in the grand scheme. So I would say, yeah, just don't take yourself too seriously, and take a chill pill every now and then.
All right. Second question. What is your drink of choice or refreshing beverage of choice?
Okay. That's a good question. I'm kind of craving a whiskey sour right now. I have my lovely glass of water next to me right now, but a whiskey sour sounds really good.
Very nice. Any particular brand of whiskey?
I really like Woodford Reserve. I'm not sure if that would be good in a sour. That's more like a sipping whiskey, but the sour is like all about the lemon juice and everything else kind of masking the whiskey taste. It's just so refreshing. But yeah, I'll go with Woodford.
Woodford's one of my favorite. Best sipping though is Angel's Envy if you ever want to try it.
I've heard so many good things about that. I have to try it.
And as you know, this is the Rock Down South podcast. So, what is something that you love about the South?
The women, for sure, 100%. That's easily my top answer. Pretty much all the girls I've dated, including my current girlfriend, are from the South. So yeah, I love blonde girls from the South.
You went to school in Florida, right?
I did, yes.
Where at?
I went to University of Miami.
Oh, cool. So you know about the South a little bit, and
Yes.
looks like you spent some time here.
Yeah, I had a great time in Florida. Yeah, I love the South. A lot of my family's from Louisville, so that's like a second home to me. So, and Nashville as well. So I'm very familiar.
Oh, so then we should call it bourbon, not whiskey.
That's right. They're gonna disown me now.
Hey, thank you so much, Zach, for being a part of the show today. Where can people find and connect with you guys online?
So all of our social media is at TEMPT Band. So we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everything TEMPT Band. Our website, temptband.com. Super easy to find us. We're posting all the time. And yeah, we will be keeping you all posted with tour announcements, single announcements, all that, all things Tempt on all of our various social media sites.
Thank you so much for listening to the show today. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Gil and I had a really fun time chatting with Zach. He's a super cool and incredibly talented singer. Absolutely love the band and their sound. That Living Dangerous song is probably one of my top 5 songs of 2021. We wish him and the band the absolute very best and cannot wait to listen to new music that they put out and see him on tour very soon. So make sure you go follow Tempt on all of their social media pages and give their latest single, Living Dangerous, a listen. Also, take a look at their tour schedule and hit up a show if they're in town near you. You won't regret it. Check out all our content at rockdownsouth.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for the latest updates. And as always, the views and opinions expressed by our guests on the show are theirs and don't necessarily reflect our own. I'm Mark, and you've been listening to Rock Down South. See y'all next time.